Hey book nerds, welcome to my channel. Today I'm very excited to introduce you to my Snakes and Ladders TBR. So TBR videos are very in at the moment. People are coming up with all kinds of cool creative ways to pick their TBR, and I was trying to think of one and I decided to just do a game of Snakes and Ladders. I don't think it's been done. I have searched for it and I couldn't find it anywhere, so I'm sorry if someone has done it and I'm just not aware of it. But basically, every month I'm gonna play a little game of Snakes and Ladders. I'm gonna do about between 4 and 6 books or prompts per month, depending on what else I've got going on that month. And so this is just the introduction video. If you want to skip this, that's fine. The next video will be my May TBR and I'll be actually using this. So this I'm just going to explain what the squares are. They're fairly self-explanatory, but it's just in case you want to see them all and you want to see the board and stuff. Some basic rules. So I've decided that each of the prompts can't be combined with another prompt from the Snake and Ladders board. It can, however, be used for readathon challenges and combined with anything else that I'm doing that month. So the number of books that I pick from the board is the minimum number of books that I'm reading per month, which is why I'm going to do 4 to 6, so I still have some scope with what I'm doing. The reason I did this is because my TBR is out of control, to be honest, and I struggle with picking stuff each month, and I want to clear a lot of it. So this is to kind of encourage me to pick different types of books that I wouldn't instinctively pick. Having said that, all of the prompts are things that I'm interested in. Some of them are pushing me outside my comfort zone, but they're not making me read things that I wouldn't read anyway, which for me is all that I wanted to do. So, without further ado, let me show you the board. So I wasn't really sure the best way to show you this because I don't have a tripod yet and my hands are pretty shaky. So I'm just going to do a kind of panning thing. I will get a tripod, I promise, so in future it will be less awkward for me to film these videos, but at the moment this is the best I've got. So we have, in square number 1, 2019 releases. This is to read a book released in 2019. Next we have a TBR veteran, so this is to read one of the books that's been on my TBR since probably since I got my Kindle, so around 2013 onwards. The older the better. We then have a sneaky little ladder. We have superhero book, which is to read a book about superheroes. The bottom of this snake we have an author I hate. I did try to do it so that at the top of the ladder is some of my favourite prompts and at the bottom of the snakes there's some of the least favourite ones, but it hasn't always worked out that way. We have a book with you in the title, followed by thriller. We then have series. So I really struggle with reading series, so this is to read either the next book in a series or to start a new series. We have a random cover colour, so if this comes up I'm going to use a random generator to pick a colour and then I have to read a book with that colour cover. We have 2018 release. It's a book that was released in 2018. Girl in the title, again self-explanatory. Contemporary. We have family member in the title. Lie in the title, or lies, or liar, any variation on that. There's a sneaky little ladder, and then there is an author to read. So this is when I pick one of the I did a video at the start of the year which is authors that I really want to read this year, so I'm going to pick one of them and I have to read that book. Then we have a snake, which leads you all the way down to that author you hate. We have a fantasy book, a non-fiction book at the bottom of this snake, anthology, self-explanatory, physical book at the bottom of this snake, so that's one of the ones that I physically own and not as an ebook and I have to read it. We have reread, which is something I've added fairly recently because I never reread books. I really enjoy rereading books and I need the extra motivation to actually do it. I've switched views now just so you can see the top of the board because my camera's not tall enough. we have number in the title, which is any book with a number in the title. A to Z, this is where I'm going to randomly generate a letter and I have to read a book starting with that letter. Top of this ladder we have an author I love. Again, I made a list of books by authors I love. I don't think I actually ever uploaded a video on it, but I intended to. But I'm going to pick something from that list. We have a 2-word title, so a book made up of only 2 words in the title. Horror, self-explanatory. I've missed a square there, so I'll be filling that in with something at some point. Thriller, which again, I've already done a thriller, but I doubled up on thrillers because I love them so much and I've got so many to read. Retelling, which is to read a retelling of something. Sneaky snake there that leads down to that non-fiction book. 400 plus pages, so to read a book longer than 400 pages, which I never do. Anticipated thriller, so at the start of the year I did my most anticipated thrillers, and that's to pick up on over that. There's a sneaky snake right before the end, which leads down to that physical book. And finally we have queer, so to read a book with queer representation. And so that is the board. I'm sorry if that video is a complete mess because I said shaky hands. It will get better. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see what I actually do with the board, then be sure to watch my TBR videos. Thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you next time.